Zerglings on both sides of the natural JangBi, so he might just be waiting for an opportunity to barrel down. Has a few Zerglings there at the top, but they're going to be ranged by that cannon. The cannons can be completely defended by probes. So in that regard, Luxury is not going to be able to barrel down and take out the natural anytime. Well, not right away, because he's going to need speed and he's going to need something else. Also, a hatchery being put down the natural. First Corsair now out, meanwhile, and that's going to start harassing that Overlord. There are no forces. I don't see anything to take care of that. Meanwhile, now speed up for the Zerglings. A lot of Zerglings being put down. So Luxury grouping up, massing up Zerglings from two directions. They're nothing but 4 Zealots and a Dragoon, as well as cannons to defend. So Luxury is actually going to go for this. He's going to attack from both directions. Not going to attack everything. Going to go with Zerglings from both sides. There's going to be attacked. The ones on the west are going to be attacked fairly well, but the Zerglings from the north are barreling down, killing a lot of probes. They're trying to block the cannon. Is actually going to manage to take the cannon down. A bunch of Zerglings on both sides, still reinforcing, doing a massive amount of damage here. Some Zerglings and attacking a lot. Zealots trying to defend as well as they can. The Forge goes down. Dragoon's still alive. Some Zealots still alive, and most of the Zerglings have died at this point, but they've taken down a lot of the probes, taking on one Forge, and JangBi holds. So many Zerglings barreling down, trying to get through, but overall he holds. He's still pushing out with even more Zerglings, adding another hatchery. So we're going to see whether he pushes for a Hydra build. More cannons being put down by JangBi. He's also adding another Forge inside of his main. Probably going to go for upgrades. Actually, no, I think he lost the Forge in Natural. No, he's just rebuilding the Forge of his main because it's so much danger there at Natural. Meanwhile, Sunken's being put there at the 10 o'clock base by Luxury, also getting some Scourge out to take out those scouting Corsairs so he won't lose any more Overlords. I still don't know whether he has the Spire, so I'm not quite sure whether he has Mutas yet or not. Still has quite a few Zerglings now getting his second Extractor as well, so he's going to be able to get more for high-tech, getting creep colonies inside of his natural as well as the 10 o'clock phase. So I'm going to see whether with JangBi is now pushing out with quite a large mass of force. He has, I think, 6, 7, maybe even 8 Zealots, as well as the Dragoon. We're going to see whether they're actually pushing. No, he's actually going to push back. He's has speed, meanwhile, for those Zealots, so that's going to be a huge help. Temple Archive is always up, so Dark Templar. We're going to see whether he goes for Dark Templar or just sticks to his forte of High Templar. A lot of Corsairs, meanwhile, now in his main. Going to be some Scourge going to fly and going to try to pick one of those off. But there's going to be enough forces to take care of that. High Templar is going to be able to spot the Temple Archive, so he knows he's going to have to be careful. I don't think JangBi, he does have a decent amount of Corsairs, but I don't think he's going to have enough to really go down and kill the enough Overlords of Luxuries to go barrel in with Dark Templar. Meanwhile, now, good thing by Luxury overall, he's taken down Forges twice, which means that he's definitely forced JangBi to cancel his upgrades. No Weapons 1, which would have been almost ready at this point for him, up yet. And he's actually gonna move into this naturally. There's only one Sunken there. I think a few Hydras as well as Zealots. I think he's gonna need more than one Sunken there, though. The Zealots are not gonna be barreling down. There's a Hydras, there's a Lurker morphing in, and the Zealots are not actually gonna move. There's like a Sunken attack. Meanwhile, no, Luxury is gonna hold. He's gonna go for the pincher just now with the Zerglings. There's some Scourge there also, which are a little bit useful. Not gonna do just one Sunken, trying to block off the Sunken as much as he can, but the Sunken is actually gonna go down. Some more Hydras now morphing in. Most of the Zerglings still alive, but now all gonna get taken down. There's still 5 Zealots as well. Dragoon now inside of the natural Luxury. Luxury now is gonna be in trouble with Lurkers not morphing, and the Lurkers morph now. So, just in time, and JangBi running out. Did manage to take out some ground forces, losing a few of his own, but did manage to take out that Sunken, but no economic damage critically. Lurkers came in town. Now, High Templar on the other side, up for JangBi, also reinforcing, putting down more cannons. But with those High Templar and those cannons, he's definitely going to be able to hold 3 Sunkens at the 10 o'clock base. I think Luxury might also be thinking of taking the main there. Manages to take down one Corsairs while sacrificing a couple of Scourge from that robotic facility. Also now coming up for JangBi. Meanwhile, Luxury running in with a Lurker. Has to be careful to barrel that at the correct location. He's just running around, trying to get inside, trying to position himself properly. Archon also now out actually for JangBi. That's interesting. He didn't actually wait for Storms for those High Templar of his. Luxury on the other side, putting down another base at the 11 o'clock. So he's taking the main at the 11 o'clock alongside those natural Corsairs now moving in. So he is going to go for Overlord's kills. I don't see any anti-air for him. Meanwhile, no Hydra-risks, nothing, and these Overlords are going to be turned into mincemeat here. Second Overlord going to go down. Third Overlord, again, 3 Overlords killed, and now just the Scourge moving. So that's awesome there for JangBi. He didn't manage to do too much early on, but now he's killed a lot of Overlords, so that's going to really delay. And we're going to see whether JangBi is actually going to try to go for the 10 o'clock. There are a lot of Sunken defending there, but I don't think that Luxury has upgraded to Nidus Canal tech at this point, and we know he is going to prevent some expansions from JangBi. JangBi's actually moving on into a heavy Archon build, not actually using his Side Templar for Storms, also getting upgrades for his Ground Force, not producing any more Corsairs, so I think he has enough at this point. Doesn't have Weapons 1 yet. A lot of Scourge flying around, trying to pick off all those Corsairs that are running around and massacring his Overlords. Decent force there. Some Corsairs not gonna. Ooh, take 3 Corsairs taken out by the Scourge, and only 3 or 4 left, so that's a pretty decent job there. Keeping Luxury JangBi's Corsairs number from rising too high. He's not producing anymore. Now he's going to focus on ground force. He has like 8 or 10 Zealots alongside a couple of Archons, some Dragoons. Also now has Weapons 1, so we're going to see what he actually tries to push soon. Forced Luxury to build a Spore Colony inside of the Natural, and came far too late though. And Zealots are meanwhile going to penetrate the Natural at this 11 o'clock base, and going to spot that hatchery coming up. They're going to start attacking it, but there's going to be a lurker there in time to reinforce, so that's not going to happen. That hatchery will stay up, and Luxury will actually be able to get up another base. Meanwhile, JangBi still only had 2 bases, so if Luxury gets this another base, he's also going for high tech. Meanwhile, if he actually manages to hold these bases, not prevent JangBi from taking on a 3rd base, he will take a significant economic advantage. But no, JangBi is actually going to move towards the 3 o'clock and put down another base. Luxury now finally getting his 4th, finally getting mining there. Also, JangBi also putting down cannons to defend the 3 o'clock. No other attack from JangBi, but might actually be thinking of moving out, taking down a random Scourge there. Has some Corsairs alongside his ground army. Some Zerglings meanwhile moving out at the north from Luxury. We're going to see what he actually tries to put on some pressure. JangBi now, decent size force of both air and ground units. Scourge going to push those Corsairs back for a small amount of time, but some of them going to get taken down. Luxury has to be very careful to defend his Overlords. Oh, losing even more Scourge. Oh, but manages to take down 1 or 2 more Corsairs. Oh, no, 2 of them. Only 2 more Corsairs there in the air. Luxury now defending his Natural with 2 Sunkens that he's putting up and a bunch of Lurkers everywhere. And JangBi is going to barrel down. And the Sunkens are not ready too, so all those Lurkers are going to take in a lot. Now he finally has those Zerglings out. Should be able to take out all of these forces of JangBi. JangBi hasn't managed to do any sort of damage, loses a lot of forces. There's also that Spore Colony. It takes out a Corsair. So JangBi with a worthless attack didn't have any observers. I don't think at least he had observers. Did not spot any forces there. Now going to move out with some Dark Templar, but I think that I believe that Luxury has either Spore Colonies or Overlords at most locations, so JangBi has to be very careful how he uses that. There's an advertisement there at the north, at the screen, at the top of the screen, which won't go away because it's bothering me, go away. Lots of Archons, and finally I believe JangBi's now finally getting some High Templar, alongside his forces. Going to need those Storms, especially for those Lurkers. Now, more Creep Colonies being put down at the Natural, so he's... And the Defiler Man as well. We're going to see whether he use those Creep Colonies for Sunkens or actually for Spores. Now, the last of the Corsairs of JangBi's now finally get taken down. So Luxury actually might be getting himself back into this game, but JangBi now has a shuttle out. I'm going to see whether he's going to storm the northern bases of Luxuries. If he's successful with that, he's going to be able to accomplish so much, because at this point it's 4 base versus 3 base. And that's a fairly decent position for Zerg. He's now putting Luxury now putting Nidus Canals down in all of his bases, trying to make sure he can reinforce. And now the shuttle is going to move in. I'm not quite sure what he has there. He actually has 2 Dark Temple, but there is a Spore Colony and 2 Sunkens there, and a few Zerglings as well, so that those Dark Temple are not going to be able to accomplish too much. We'll definitely get at least a couple of probe kills. One drone kill there getting down, but Sunkens are in range, and there are those Zerglings, so those Dark Templar are going to be fended off. Not too much down. A lot of Sunkens everywhere. Meanwhile, for Luxury is playing very carefully, and JangBi now going to expand at the 12 o'clock. So Luxury has to spot that and take it out, because you don't want JangBi to get an economic advantage on you. Luxury has had at all times a somewhat economic advantage. There's Coach January, JangBi's coach, just watching on. More Corsairs, I believe, being now produced by JangBi as well. But if JangBi manages to get a 4th base up, Luxury is going to be in trouble. He needs to prevent JangBi from taking up base. He does spot that with a Corsair, so